Greetings, Earthlings, and a very happy holiday to you. Today I am back with a review of a ribbon microphone. What? So today we're looking at this guy, the MXL R144, which is a budget ribbon microphone. If you are interested in this microphone kit, it will set you back around $100. Like always, I'll throw some links down below. And for this review, I have the microphone connected directly to the Focusrite 18i 22nd Gen with the gain set at 100%, and I will not do any kind of post-processing, but I may have to boost the audio in post, so check the doobly-doo to see what I diddly did. But Bandrew, why are you recording in a different location? Well, because this is how it sounds when I'm recording in the same location I record all my reviews at. You can tell immediately that it sounds absolutely terrible because my voice is bouncing off the monitors behind the mic and reflecting into the rear of it, and it sounds as though it's kind of phase canceling each other out. It sounds thin, reflective, reverby, boxy, all around terrible. That's why. Now let's talk about what comes in the box. First, everything comes in a nice plastic storage box. You'll of course get the microphone, a shock mount with a 5/8 to 3/8 inch microphone stand adapter, a microfiber cleaning cloth, documentation, and a sticker! Then, as far as the build quality, the exterior of the microphone feels perfectly fine. It has an all-metal body as well as a metal mesh grill which has just a tiny bit of give to it, and it weighs in at around 400 grams. But I do just need to note that ribbon microphones simply by design are incredibly delicate devices. Putting a plosive directly into the ribbon, accidentally running phantom power through it, or dropping one can destroy the microphone, so regardless of how good the exterior of a microphone feels, if it's a ribbon microphone, you need to treat it with extra care. Next up, as far as the specs, this microphone has a figure-8 polar pattern, which is standard for almost all ribbon microphones, a frequency response of 20 Hz to 17 kHz, a sensitivity of around -56 decibels, a max SPL of 130 dB, an impedance of 250 ohms, and a ribbon length of 47 millimeters with a thickness of 1.8 microns. Now I am spinning around the R144 to 90 degrees to show you the off-axis rejection and coloration. We'll continue around the microphone to 180 degrees. You'll notice that it doesn't sound the exact same in the rear as it does in the front. The rear of the ribbon seems to have a little bit more of a presence boost. It's a bit brighter, and some people may prefer that. But we'll continue around to the second 90-degree angle. It's dead, what you would expect on a figure-8 mic. Continuing around and ending at the front of the microphone. Now let's go ahead and test some plosives. I'm not going to do one. I told you already. A plosive directly into this microphone's ribbon can dislodge it or tear it or just break it. So I am not going to break this microphone for the sake of testing plosives. If you're using a ribbon microphone, either have really good microphone technique or get a pop filter. Now I am right on top of the R144 to demonstrate the proximity effect on this thing. About 6 inches off of the microphone with it pointed at the corner of my mouth. About 1 foot off of the microphone. 2 feet off of the microphone. And about 4 feet away from the R144. Now I am typing on a keyboard with Cherry MX Blues to see how much of my voice versus how much of the keyboard it picks up. And for you elite gamers who would be insane if you buy this microphone to live stream games, I am typing on the sad W keys. Now, in order to see how effective the provided shock mount is, I will bump my desk. Wow. And I will tap on the boom arm. That's a lot of noise. If you're getting this microphone, do not use it on a boom arm that has springs, because listen to this. That's insane. No, stop. Here is how the microphone sounds in a well-treated room. And here is how the R144 sounds in a completely untreated room. Now, for the sake of being as complete as possible, I want to do a very quick comparison for spoken word. First, I will speak into the microphone without any kind of treatment surrounding it, and then I will throw on one of these reflection shields to see how it affects the sound and if it is an improvement. And now I have a reflection shield placed around the microphone. You can hear that there is quite a bit less of the room tone because the rear of the figure 8 polar pattern is being blocked out, and this is how it sounds. Now for the electric guitar test, I am going to be doing something slightly different. I will be playing the guitar directly through the R144, then I will play a quick sample with the SM57, and then I will blend the two microphones together to see what kind of blended tone we can get. And the reason that I am doing this is ribbon microphones are very often paired with the SM57 due to the big presence boost and somewhat recessed lower frequencies. And ribbon microphones have a very full and warm low end, so the SM57 and a ribbon microphone seem to complement each other very well. It may be too cliche, but I've gotta say, happy holidays. I hope you get a lot of mics, or audio interfaces, or outboard gear, or guitars, or whatever it is you want. Happy holidays, everyone. Alright, so I think that there are two things that I can say about this microphone for certain. First thing is there's a ribbon inside of it, and secondly, it costs $100. And first up, in terms of pros, the price. It is a relatively cheap ribbon mic, so if you're looking to dip your toe into that market and play with blending a ribbon mic with a 57 or a small diaphragm condenser without having to worry about going bankrupt if you accidentally drop it or run phantom power through it, or if you want to play around with learning to re-ribbon microphones and work on this type of microphone, $100, it's a great entry point. And then in terms of cons, I am a little bit hesitant to list all of these as cons because they're inherent to most ribbon microphones, so just take this with a grain of salt. First, you need to be very selective with your microphone placement because the rear lobe of sensitivity is very sensitive and it will affect the sound, as you saw when I was sitting down at a desk with reflective surfaces directly behind the microphone. Also, this microphone, just like the majority of ribbons, is very dark, and I think a lot of people will be turned off from that because we've become accustomed to a very bright, very detailed, modern-sounding microphone. This is not that. Additionally, due to the nature of ribbon microphones, it is extremely delicate, so you need to handle it with extreme care, and on that note, it is very susceptible to plosives, and you can actually damage the microphone if you put a gust of wind or air directly into the ribbon. And lastly, I'm not sure if this is something that is apparent on every ribbon microphone, but this ribbon microphone picks up every bump of the desk or bump of the stand, and that can absolutely destroy a recording. And then as far as my overall thoughts on this thing, on the electric guitar, it is dark, it is smooth, it is warm. it sounds like a ribbon microphone. But I would say that this microphone has somewhat of a woofy tone in the low mids and lower frequencies, just a oh type sound to it. But when you do mix it with an SM57, it gives you a much more impactful sound than a 57 on its own. Then on the acoustic guitar, I think it offers a very authentic tone to it, and I don't mean that it is an accurate representation of what the acoustic guitar sounds like, because it's not. It just offers a smooth and warm and lovely sound to it, which is something that I have always imagined a classic acoustic guitar would sound like. Then for singing, it gives you a very warm and dark sound. I know I sound repetitive, but that's the characteristic of this microphone, and I don't think a lot of people are going to be looking for that. If you're going for a 1940s vintage style recording, absolutely, this is a great entry point, but if you're doing modern pop or rock or punk music, it doesn't have the detail and clarity that people expect, so I think you would be better served with something else like a condenser or a dynamic. And lastly, for spoken word, I know a lot of people swear by ribbon mics for that application, but in my opinion, no. It's just too dark, too smooth, too warm, and it lacks the detail and clarity and articulation that I think is essential for a good and easy to listen to spoken word recording. So would I recommend this microphone? It is a soft maybe from me. If this is going to be the only microphone in your studio, absolutely not. I don't think it's versatile enough to be the only mic in your mic locker. I think you would be much better served by a dynamic like the 57 or a condenser like the AT2020. But on the other hand, if you already have a mic locker built up and you're just looking for a ribbon mic to blend with some other mics you already have, like a 57 or some small diaphragm condensers, then I think for $100, this is a really nice entry point, and I think it can be a lot of fun to play around with without the added concern and anxiety that comes from playing with a $1,000 ribbon mic. And there you have it. That was the R144, the very first ribbon microphone I've reviewed on this channel. I wanted to start with something more entry-level and affordable before diving into the insanely expensive boutique or just higher-end ribbon microphone market. So let me know what you thought of this. Do you want to see more ribbon microphones, or is this just something you're not interested in? Let me know in the comments down below. But if you found this video fun, interesting, or helpful, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. If you hated it, give me a big ol' thumbs down. If you want to see more videos, go ahead and subscribe by clicking that logo down beneath me. And if you want to support the channel and become one of these amazing people over here, you can do so by clicking that join button and joining at the $5 tier. It really does help me continue to bring you these videos, and I love them and appreciate them so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Happy holidays, happy winter. I'll talk to you next time. Bye.